Did you know that Valve demands that their devs charge the same price inside and outside the store? Do you think that critics and reviewers shouldn't target bad games? Did you know that Monster Hunter Wilds actually released a performance update? These and more news on Not Title News. Let's go! Baldur's Gate 3 studio boss calls out hurtful personal video game reviewers. Sometimes I think it'd be a good idea for critics to be scored Metacritic style. Alright, let's jump into the article. I'll read it and then I'll bring you my take. Okay, so if I understood it correctly, Sven is clearly saying that he doesn't want personal attacks, but the main take that is not based on subjectivity. It's the take that he's basically saying that outputting a game into the world is a lot of work, and that should be taken into consideration when criticizing a game. You know, you shouldn't be all into the criticism, and maybe, you know, understand that there are people involved in that product, and maybe that gives a leeway. I think I understand what he's trying to say, but it's coming off in a wrong way. Because we need critics to talk about good things and bad things. We wouldn't know that the things are bad if the critics wouldn't talk about it. Granted, we can always experience that for ourselves, but there is value in critics in the modern world, otherwise they wouldn't exist. And this is the first way that there is a Metacritic for critics and reviewers. It's basically their subscriber count, it's basically how much views they get by video. So this approval or disapproval of reviewers already exists. Obviously, there is no official way, you know, there is no official platform actually judging reviewers. And remember, reviewers are people. Like, there is no reviewing company, you know? So this is already wrong because he's comparing reviewers, which are single individuals most of the time. I know sometimes they will have a team, but these are really reserved for the big ones. And so it's not like when somebody attacks a game and they say, oh, this game is trash, like many people said about High Guard, they are not attacking the devs. And I can understand a lot of it can get lost. We are in the internet after all, and people get way overboard, overkill with their, you know, they go hard on the offensive, you know, and I don't think that fits, but we should obviously always disconsider that because we already expect people to be polite. And he even gives an example of when he was a dev and he was in a failed game, and one friend of his who is a critic decided not to critique his game because it was bad, but he knew that everybody tried his hardest. Yeah, this is true. I'm a developer. I work in games, and I still to this day haven't managed to work on a game that fully released to 1.0, and you know that I can point out and say, there I have a release game. So I understand how hard it is to be part of a team that manages to finish and, you know, output a game. But you have to consider you are creating a product. You are selling things to people. And this is not a work of art to be enjoyed. Really, it costs people money. Yeah, granted, some games are free to play. And yes, depending on the monetization, they do get, let's say, a leeway in being bad, depending on the monetization. But in the end of the day, these are all products. These are all games being sold as products. So pretending that they do not fit a product, like people review products, people review services, and people criticize the monetization, people criticize the quality of those services, of those products. So while I understand him, both as a developer and as a critic, right? I understand that some critics kind of deserve a bad rating, right? But I think it's a little bit out of touch. He's looking too much into his own reality without realizing at the moment that he made this post that he actually, you know, his company sells products and they are not giving them for free. And this warrants criticism, whether you like it or not. So I believe, I understand what he's saying, but I don't think he's right for the reasons I just explained. I want to know your opinion, guys. What do you think about this statement of Swen Vincke? Do you think it makes sense? Do you think he is looking too much to his side? Do you think people are indeed, they go too hard and they shouldn't? Do you think critics actually affect a game's performance? I don't think it is. Because if a game is good and a critic comes out and say, nah, that game's bad, nobody will listen to him. Anyway, I want to know your guys' opinions, and let's jump into the next news. Steam owner Valve faces 900 million lawsuit over PC monopoly claims following UK tribunal ruling. I don't know how to say this word. Tribunal. All of them sound wrong, but there is this UK lawsuit, and it seems there is another lawsuit going on the US, the article claims. But this UK lawsuit is claiming that Steam has a parity system, meaning that Steam demands that their devs charge the same price on Steam storefront and on other storefronts. I don't know how to feel about this. On one hand, obviously, if other storefronts want to sell their game for less price, that would drive some of the people away from Steam, definitely. Yeah, I don't even know what to think about this, because literally, I think people should be allowed to sell their products at different prices based on the storefronts they are selling. Obviously, this would make it so some storefronts would sell the games for much cheaper, because Steam charges 30% revenue, right? So if a storefront charges 15%, maybe those devs could, make the game 10% cheaper and still get that 5% boost increase in the revenue. Only time would tell if it would be better to sell outside of Steam that has so many features for their customers, right? In another storefront. But it seems that Steam prohibits their devs from doing this. And indeed, I gotta say, thinking about it a little bit, I think I disagree with Steam. The devs should be free, because if Steam is such a good store, they would, they would manage to get those customers because of their quality, even if they ask for a little bit more price, right? This is what the price should cover, right? If you are asking for a higher price, you are probably providing a better service or product. Otherwise, you are going to get broke, right? And yeah, let's see how this lawsuit will develop. Also, it seems they are also suing Valve because of the 30% charge, right, that they have over revenue. Only time will tell how this lawsuit will go. I'm curious to hear your opinion. Do you think it is fair that Steam charges 30%? I always keen on seeing that number go down, but I don't believe the company can afford to make the number go down. What are your thoughts on Steam actually prohibiting devs from selling their games at cheaper prices on other storefronts? Now, I'm gonna be clear, and this is probably about Epic, right? Probably Epic wants to sell the games there at a cheaper price due to their cheaper, revenue share. But it is atypical for the gaming industry. As far as I know, Sony also charges 30%. I'm curious to hear you guys' opinion on this topic. Yeah, but that's it, guys. This is a crazy lawsuit going on. Well, it's not that crazy, but I want to see how it will turn up. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's going anywhere, but it is curious, and it's a nice topic to talk about, right? The revenue share that Steam charges. Is Steam really a monopoly? Well, it seems that they were employing some tactics to avoid people charging less money on other storefronts, so yeah, we will see. Let's go into the next news, guys. Monster Hunter Wilds is finally addressing its biggest issue, the performance issues. Alright, so we got this article claiming that Monster Hunter Wilds and Capcom obviously has officially announced that they will be working on the performance issues, and it actually seems that the patch for Steam, they will release the patch for Steam first and then for the other consoles, obviously, because I don't know if you guys also feel that, but the PC port is always left out from some companies, and Capcom does that sometimes, and the PC performance was not good. I previously tried to play Monster Hunter Wilds on my old rig. I wasn't able to. I wanted to stream myself playing Monster Hunter on release, but really the game had a really bad performance on my old PC. It was a 2070 graphics card and really bad performance. Now I got a 50 series, much better performance. Obviously, if the game still stutter, I would ask for a refund if I could. But yeah, it plays smoothly. But I have a beast of a rig now. People shouldn't be expected. Most users still use 20 series, 30 series. Many of them, I'm not saying most of them, obviously it's not most of the players, but a very good chunk of them still uses the 10 series. I have some friends that still use 1050 Ti series, so it's no wonder that there was a lot of criticism towards the game, that probably expected players to have insane rigs to play it. And there is not a lot of justification. I played Monster Hunter World, and it's a pretty similar looking game. There is no reason for this new game. It doesn't have any destruction or physics to, you know, ask so much more from the performance. They just wasted on lighting and you know, these post effects that really don't add a lot to the game, especially considering it's a combat heavy oriented game. It's not about, you know, taking in the extremely high fidelity graphics, especially Monster Hunter, which released Monster Hunter World, if I believe, had like 720 pixel textures for the armor, which I don't believe it's bad, but this is the key point I'm saying here. The performance should be good on the second game that they released on PC. But I'm glad it seems that the patches went up yesterday. Curiously, I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Wilds lately. I got the new PC and I wanted to play the game that I wasn't able to play on my old PC because of performance. And well, I'm excited. I want to hear your guys' opinions on this. Do you play Monster Hunter Wilds? Are you excited to go back and check the performance? Are you waiting for a DLC? What's your take on that? Let's jump into the next news. And look at this one, guys, at Games Radar. I think I already said the wrong spelling before, but Kingdom Come Deliverance devs considered using Robin Hood's England or medieval Germany for the action RPG, but Warhorse ran into a problem. The team knew nothing about those eras. Oh, curiously enough, Kingdom Come just started playing behind me. This is amazing. So, for those of you who don't know, Kingdom Come Deliverance is set on Prague. Oh, not Prague, but around the Czech region, if I'm not mistaken, and this is where the team is based. So they are creating a game that is somewhat set in their home region, right? Not exactly their hometown, but around that. And they do a lot of historic work, and they were talking in this article about how if they move to Germany or England to try and do a little bit different setting, they might lose some of the immersion, and I applaud them for that, because yeah, for people nowadays, for real actual historians to understand how life was even 500 years ago, there is still a lot of, you know, doubt and shadow in understanding life the further you go to the past, because of, you know, records might be tainted, people might have records things wrongfully, you might not even have any records at all, just some, you know, ruins and you know, spoken, you know, history instead of written down. So there's a lot of problems happening when you are taking into account how effective you could do this immersive historical work. You know, they want to do it as close to reality as possible. They want you to feel you are set in a high medieval time. And honestly, Kingdom Come Deliverance is one of the most, if not the most immersive games I have ever played. He's right up there with the game, right? Is right up there with the likes of Red Dead Redemption 2, Cyberpunk 2077, and also Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. They are one of my favorite, most immersive, high fidelity open world games that are out there. And I really think that the creators of Kingdom Come Deliverance, both 1 and 2, really did such a great job that, let me tell you this anecdote. I worked in the past remotely with somebody who lives near the Czech Republic. It's not exactly close, a little bit to the south, but we were also on a call and I hear birds singing through his microphone. And I asked him, oh, are those nightingales? Because I actually, you know, had a quest with nightingales on Kingdom Come Deliverance. And he didn't even knew that the birds were nightingales. But after Googling, he told me, yeah, you're actually right. Those are nightingales. How did you know? And I told him, it's because of Kingdom Come Deliverance. The guys did such a great job with immersion. And I can understand why they didn't want to jump into an England theme game or a Germany theme game, and I don't know if they are thinking of still doing, you know, open world RPGs set in historical settings, or if they want to move on from that and try other types of endeavor. But if they want to still stick to this theme and type of games, it would be really nice if you guys moved a little bit further and try a different setting, something you guys think it's interesting for the time you're trying to depict. And I guess it would be amazing to have a Kingdom Come set in England or Germany. You know, not because setting Bohemia is bad, but because we already saw a couple of it. Would be really interesting to see the team doing something else, but I can understand, especially given that the first game had a story that was very open and we needed to finish that story, so the second game was completely warranted. I can also see reason for them wanting to use the same assets, animations, so there's a lot of also, you know, intelligence being applied on how to be smart about your resources and developing the next game, because now I believe they have an extremely good foundation, both with community and also probably the money they have to actually go on and look for a little bit harder endeavors, and not in the sense that they have to chase high fidelity, bigger team budgets, but just, you know, spend a little bit more time researching something that is not as close to your hometown, but, you know, would be enough time to research and deliver a game as good as Kingdom Come Deliverance, or maybe even better. I'm curious to check their next game, even though they're probably still working on, you know, DLCs for Kingdom Come Deliverance. Probably this is what's happening at the moment. I want to hear your guys' opinions. Have you played Kingdom Come 2? Are you waiting for a DLC on Kingdom Come Deliverance? Would you want Kingdom Come Deliverance or the next Warhorses RPG to be set in Germany, England, another place, maybe in Rome? Who knows? Everybody knows how the Rome period is so famous. Who knows if they have something interesting to show us on that regard. But besides that, I think this is it, guys. And I think this is it, guys. I want to know your opinion about everything that we talked about today. I want to know your opinion about the Kingdom Come Deliverance devs talking about developing a Robin Hood-esque game set in England. What are your opinions on Swen Vincke talking about the reviewers and the critics? Do you think he was right? Do you think he was a little bit, you know, narrow-minded, narrow-visioned about his criticism? What do you think about Valve's lawsuit? Do you think it's fair? Do you think Valve should be allowed to both charge 30% and also demand that the devs that release games on their platforms also release with the same price on other platforms? Do you think that's fair? And what's your take on Monster Hunter? Are you still playing Monster Hunter? Are you excited about it? Did the performance issues actually, you know, put you off from the game? Are you expecting a DLC? I want to know your guys' comments about all of these. If you are new here, please subscribe. If you are new here, please subscribe, leave a like. Tell me in the comments what you think about this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.